folks, I just wanted to give you a quick update about some things going on around the house. It is currently a wreck. Currently I'm in our living room. I have my My Little Ponies behind me. They started on one bookcase and grew to 2 and then 3 and then moved to their current state over here with 4, and it's still not enough space. So we this weekend went out to IKEA and purchased some floating shelves that we're working on getting installed, partially because we also in the living room have 3 bookcases that had Care Bears on them, and we have the original plush Care Bears from 1983, 84, 85 with the cousins and the original line of Care Bears that were released in their original boxes. So they take up a good amount of square footage on a bookcase just by themselves. And we've gotten to the point where we really need a floating shelf over those bookcases so that we can have all the box Care Bears together. However, when we pull them out of the living room, which is our current plan or work in progress that we're doing, we need some place for those to go. And if they don't fit well in a tote, I was able to put almost 3 bookcases of Care Bears that were on the bookcases into 1.5 totes. Almost everything fit in that amount of space. A lot of them are PVC or the 3-inch posable Care Bears from the 80s, and they're tiny. Small ceramics, books, a couple glasses, things that are small enough that they can pack away easily. But those full-size plush Care Bears don't pack up well. So we actually installed some overhead shelves. I'll show you those. In our bedroom. Most of the time we try to keep the toys out of our bedroom. That's one spot that typically is toy free, but we have Sky Strikers and a few other G.I. Joe boxes in there right now too. Things need someplace to go while we're in limbo, or we've decided with the floating shelves we will have something up on them that probably is going to end up being a toy when the Care Bears come back out to the living room in the spring. Maybe it'll be family photos and we'll get some of those back up. So we discussed it. I don't know if it'll happen. But what we're doing is working on trying to get the really super colorful My Little Ponies and Care Bears that are in the living room down. They go away for fall to Christmas months. And then in the beginning of the new year, when I start putting away Christmas stuff, they'll come back out. And that way it kind of balances the colors and it gives us a reason to get things cleaned up and dusted off, and we get to see other things on display because we have things that are in boxes all year long otherwise. We put up the Mask and G.I. Joe, or excuse me, Mask and G1 Transformers probably 2 years ago, and they haven't been back out. So one of the things that we're doing is we're going to pull them back out. We have a bunch of Harry Potter Lego sets that we collected, kind of that middle range of Harry Potter, not the real current one with the back that's open, and not the original set, but the ones from 2 to 5 years ago that were in the middle. And so those come out for fall to Christmas. We have things like Chicken McNuggets that come back out, other Happy Meal type toys that kind of go along with the Chicken McNuggets, and the original Happy Meal pails that look like Frankenstein and the ghosts and the pumpkins. We have, I don't remember which ones, but some of those. And Christmas related toys eventually will come out. We have Snoopy and the Peanuts gang, a collection that was given to us, and they wanted it to be kept together, but they didn't want it anymore themselves, and so they actually donated it to us. So I slowly have added a few more items to that as I come across a good priced Peanuts or Snoopy item, but it's the right time of year to pull those out too. And even though they do have some Easter and probably some other holidays in there, Valentine's Day, some other holidays, and Snoopy's dressed up as different things, they all come out and it comes out as a cool collection. We show that off during the next couple of months. So that's what we're in the process of right now. Okay, so the Care Bears are on those 3 bookcases and overflowing onto the floor and up above. So looking at these bookcases, we've pulled off the Care Bear and Care Bears, and we're going to be moving the Transformers, Mask, Muppets, Smurfs, whatever we decide, Snoopy and Peanuts gang, whatever we decide to display into this space for the holidays. And one of the places that we're going to be putting floating shelves is up here. We're gonna have one, and it's almost gonna be exactly the length from the corner of the wall over to where the kitchen is. And we're gonna put one there. So when the Care Bears come back out, we'll be able to put the boxed Care Bears along the top shelf and then back up there. But during the winter months, we'll be able to put other toys up there. With the floating shelves, we also are hoping to put at least 2 long floating shelves above this, and I think they're gonna be off-centered. So we're gonna have one and then one that's slightly higher, so that they don't have to exactly match. We don't have to meet the whole way. We can go away. Over here on this wall, kind of see what's going on. These 2 bookcases are still in the process of being cleaned and organized, but we have this space where this is a fairly high ceiling in this room, and we will be putting floating shelves up in that space so that you can display boxes. So some of these big boxes, although there's a lot of them, I don't know how we're gonna get all of the boxes up there, but they're gonna be moving around some. So that's the plan for floating shelves in the hobby room, so we can get this more organized. So the doorway that comes from the living room into the family room here is our only really empty wall. It's got stuff leaning up against it at the moment, but that's our space that is clean. And the big reason we have nothing on it, if I come back over here, is the walk space, where the actual ledge there between the door frame and where you're going to be moving through and walking into other rooms is fairly narrow. So we can't go deep enough like a bookcase on this shelf or in that space. And we've talked about a couple different things, but we are discussing possibly putting floating shelves in above the door, possibly going over all the way across this section as another way to get some of those vintage G.I. Joe boxes up and nicely displayed, where if you come in here and you turn around, it's not just a blank wall, since that doesn't really go with our house, the current state. But also we are talking about what to do. Let me see if I can get them where they don't have so much glare from the light. Our vintage Real American Hero full cards for G.I. Joe. Aaron has collected a lot of these. These are ones that are in the nice acrylic cases, but he's got lots and lots and lots of cards stored away that need a good spot to come out and be displayed and shown off. And so the current thought is that we may put thin shelves up along here that are only a couple inches deep and would hold that acrylic case, and then we'll do rows and rows and rows of those over here also. And then we'd be able to show off what we have, and we could actually leave gaps in the ordering so that if we're missing something, when we do actually acquire it, it gets to go into its spot. Sorry, the light's really bright on that. But that's a work in progress. We'd also like to get these acrylic cases, not necessarily get them graded. We'd like to just keep them ungraded, but in an acrylic case for all the full cards. But when you're talking about as many as we have, that's a big price jump also. So now I'm in the Lego room, and a lot of times when you see photos or images of this space, there's all our castle, they stop right about that point, and we don't go past this point in our photos or our film. And that's because when you look back this way, it looks right into our kitchen, which a lot of times is somewhat of a mess. Countertop is usually covered with toys. I'm in the process of cleaning the fabric softeners out in the OxyClean because I was cleaning toys, working on My Little Pony here, different ones. Formula 911 there, because that's used for cleaning a lot lately, depending on what I'm working on. There's a whole bunch of My Little Pony rainbows. You can't really see them from the G2 ponies that I was cleaning. But what I was going to show is behind, and then also a lot of our sorting and organizing of Lego go on this space here. But what, let me see if I can get the tripod level. Okay, so what we're looking at doing in here is also putting up probably a floating shelf just above this opening, but we've discussed going out farther possibly. We've also talked about getting cases that we could put our minifigs in these kind of spaces here and behind the door over here. And then we even have space on this wall here that becomes a problem of what to do with it because it has the light switches on it. And so there's a little bit of space below that we have a half bookcase, but we can't go as tall as a full bookcase like right here. And there's space there that we could utilize that we haven't yet. With this video or future videos, depending on how I end up getting them edited together, what happens and why we do all this, and it's a lot of fun. I really love the end result in fall. It's my favorite time of year. So maybe with starting this a little bit early this year, we'll finally make the temperature drop below 105 every day. Be ideal. Hopefully you enjoy what we're doing and follow along with us to see what happens next.